What's up, bitches? So, bored, nothing to do, fucking world. So, thought, let's tackle Mathews versus McDavid. Why not? Why not? Why not? Now, these are my two teams if I had to choose teams. I live in Saskatchewan, so there's nobody that I grew up cheering for naturally. I got the Riders and the Pats. Pats are WHL for anybody that doesn't know, CHL. Um, so I have my whole life lived with Leaf fans, so I've always been, I guess, a Leaf fan. I guess you could say a Leaf fan. I've just kind of, they've been there, right? But I've always been a fan of good hockey foremost, at the most. I love when a team comes, I don't care if it's against my team or not, I love when a team comes back from behind. I want close, high-scoring games. If every game was 3-4, I would be so happy. 3-4 with 2 goals scored in the last 5 minutes, I would be so happy. Anyways, just saying I got no real... I don't really care. I really don't care about this argument. But I just want to look at numbers because everybody's bringing up, Mathews is... he's playing great. You know what I mean? To sit there and deny that... Oh, smoke some weed if you want to join me. Well, yeah. So he's playing great. And to deny that is just silly, right? And I don't think anybody is denying it. You got your trolls being trolls, and trolls will troll. And that's just what it is. But let's actually look at just some basic numbers and see why people that are so pro one side or the other are so pro one side or the other so much. So let's just start off flat out. Mathews 17 games, McDavid 18. Right? One more game played, whatever, who cares, whatever. Mathews, I just simply went and I looked at each game they played this year. Mathews has 9 times played a team that's not the Nucks or the Sens, and 8 times they have played the Nucks or the Sens. Is what it is. McDavid and the Oilers, 12 times they've played teams that are not the Nucks and the Sens. 6 times they have played the Nucks or the Sens. So, everybody keeps mentioning Austin Matthews 5-on-5. Now, I do take an issue with that in the sense that nobody ever mentions 5-on-5 any other time of the year. Like we're sitting here and we're talking about an absolutely subjective stat, right? It's objective in what it is. Don't get me wrong. It's objective in the sense that it is what it is. But that's a weird, when was the last time you heard of a player getting paid $6 million a year based on the last 3 years of their 5-on-5 stats? That's not a thing. It's not, so you can bring it up to justify the stats, and I mean, go ahead, but it's really silly to look at. So what is the real argument here? You know what I mean? And we're looking at 2 different players here, and we're trying to compare them, right? McDavid literally can't play defense. I mean, the coach won't allow him to. You can't, unless McDavid gets traded to a team like the Avs, and the Avs send away Kadri, Burakovsky, and 2 first-rounders or something stupid, right? And he gets to a team where they have defense. Maybe then it'll be more. But the team's defense is almost so lacking that he needs to play offense. And he needs to cheat in order to get the points, in order to cover up the defensive lapses. He needs to score more, so he's set up to score more. So I could totally see Leaf fans being like, yeah, well, he's a cherry picker with no defense, and look at Mathews. And to switch it over to Mathews, let's give the man a round of fucking, I've said since, Mathews could be the greatest American player to play ever. He could be, if the guy hit and back-checked, right? He could be the greatest to ever... he could just blow Patty Kane out of the water just because he's bigger and has more... he's all around a bigger player, right? He may not have as good of hands in those tight spaces as Patty Kane. He might not be as good of a sniper. You know what I mean? We can nitpick that later on, whatever. But the truth, he's... arguably right now one of, if not the best American all-around player. I will not put him up there with McKinnon. You got to be a little bit more consistent for me to put you up there with McKinnon as arguably the best all-around player, up there with Crosby. Crosby and McKinnon, they're up on their own echelon because they played defense. If Bergeron had a little more offense, I would put him up there too. You mean Stone, if he had a little more offense, I would put him up there too. But these guys, you mean they kind of Kopitar, another example. If the guy just chose to be more offensive, he would be up there. But these guys, they understand that in order to win cups, you need to play D. I heard rumors that Austin Mathews, he was so proud to be nominated for the Lady Byng and all of these defensive awards. So he really wanted to step up his game. That's like, as a hockey fan, as a lover of my game, that shit nearly brings a tear to my eye. That players that can make the game beautiful want to make it beautiful. You know what I mean? Like, so when we have this conversation of, you know what I mean, I don't think anybody's saying who's better. Maybe right now, but it's McDavid. Like, the dude's first overall in everything, everywhere, like, all the time. Like, he's had over 100 points nearly every season besides the last one. You mean projected and so on and so forth. Last night, he was projected for like 157 fucking points if he finished the season last year. Like, you can't... Anyways. So, this conversation, it's great. You mean it's Kobe versus LeBron. It's fantastic for the sport, and I love it. But I think at the very end of the day, we need more time. And let's continue this discussion for the sake of continuing the discussion. We need to get hockey more active in social media and all of these things, because that's what baseball and all, like, they keep it going, and they like the drama, and they like all that blah blah blah. Well, let's have a rip. So, you know, I love it. You know what I mean? Diehard Oiler fans and Leaf fans, they don't. Me, as a lover of both, I like the Oilers more. I will cheer for the Oilers more because they're a worse team. It's cheering for the underdog. You know what I mean? McDavid and Draisaitl are better than Mathews and Marner, but the whole team across the board, let's be honest. You know what I mean? And it would be nicer, in a sense, if the Oilers won, because they're more of a ragtag group of scoundrels. You know what I mean? There's some imagine Zach Cassian lifting a cup over it. You would just be like, yeah, man, like, good for you, Cass. You know what I mean? You would just be like, yeah, dude. Like, yeah. So, I love this conversation. Do I think Mathews is going to break 50 goals? No. Okay, well, will he break 50 goals? He's not playing against other people. Will that confidence stay? Because that's just like a goalie, just like anything, you need that mental confidence. And not a cocky pride. It's just, you know. You mean, when you step on that ice, it's not even like, I'm gonna get you. It's just like, well, yeah, expect 3 points tonight. Like, yeah. You know what I mean? But Mathews, I mean, poor guy can't get past 5 or can't score a hat trick or get 5 points for the life of him. I think 2 and 2, I might call that a Mathews from now on. Anybody that gets 2 goals and 2 assists, I might just call that a Mathews, and let's just start it. Why not? But yeah, it's a beautiful conversation. It truly is. Let's just look at career really quick. Why not? Austin Mathews, he'll be at 300 games played his next game. Wow. 310 points. Wow. Wow. Good for him. He's been around the league that long. Jesus. So yeah, anyways. Let's be serious. McDavid overall is better. Mathews might peak, maybe. I don't know. Like, I really... If they have to continue playing the same way that they're playing, McDavid might run away with everything, just because if we're assuming that they stay the same, in the same positions, with the same teams, playing the same style of game for the next 7 to 8 years, and the majority of their career, whatever, McDavid's the cherry-picking point getter. You can't sit there and put that natural God-given talent on defense. Like, imagine being Dave Tippett, like a defensive-minded coach who is all pro for tough, and he's all, you know what I mean. And then you have the greatest offensive talent to ever step on the ice. What do you do? what do you do? When you're the GM, I'm not saying his 12.5 is a lot, because really, like, look at the Leafs. You know what I mean? But that's a dent. That's a dent. You mean it's hard to build, like, that's why the Leafs have struggled with defense. They need to bring in guys that want to, you know what I mean? They kind of have to use the Toronto, hey, come win a cup. You're from Toronto, you know what I mean? The Joe Thornton, the Spezza, you know what I mean? They have that allure about them. Like, nobody really gives a fuck about Edmonton, right? Yeah, Gretzky played there, but the dude left. It clearly wasn't that good. You know what I mean? He didn't fight and scream and claw and do everything in his power to stay. You know what I mean? He was convinced to grow the game, so he went and grew the game. Whatever. Off topic. So yeah, I just love this conversation. I love this. I don't want to say, yeah, it's an argument. Fuck it. It's an argument. But for me, just going back to the very beginning, this is the biggest, this has just been a big TLDR. One guy has played worse teams more. I'm sorry. But I think if McDavid had ended, you know what I mean? I think, I don't, when we're really just going to chalk it up, Mathews has played worse teams more. Might be a smaller sample size, but if there's one thing that I had to chalk it up to, it's just that. You know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, you need that damn Leafs team. Well, then again, there's another thing. Leafs are just an all-around better team. Like, watching them in that last Send games, I was just torn. I was like, are the Sens this bad or are the Leafs this good? Like, are we looking at what are we looking at right here? Yeah. Yeah, it was just some cool stuff going on in hockey right now. I think we need to appreciate this. We need to sit here and we need to understand and fully grasp what we are witnessing right now. This might be some of the best hockey we will ever see in our lives. Yeah, and it's unfortunate that we can't play against other teams. Like, yeah, I don't know, I'm sure one day I'll make a video, or it'll bug me enough that I'll make a video about this division and that division, but like, whatever. So yeah, Mathews versus McDavid. Let's not take it so serious. Let's love it. Let's appreciate it. Let's hold it in our hands like it's a little baby. Mwah. We just give it some kisses. You know what I mean? Love it. Let's just love it. Let's just love it and appreciate it and love hockey and that it's on TV. Okay, have a good day.